Day 1 of observation. I anticipated great sorrow, ritual chanting, perhaps a cleansing flame. I was wrong.
The Thelthar Bureau had authorized observing one human post-trauma rite. Krelpes expected priests, mourners, perhaps a cleansing flame. A human liaison led him to a modest house in Akron. Police tape still fluttered at the front door. Inside, the liaison indicated the basement door. No candles, no incense, only a work light humming from below. In the basement, a human woman in a white biohazard suit knelt beside drying bloodstains. She was humming. Earbuds leaked the tinny chorus of Dreams. Nancy from Aftermath Clean Company had already started.
This is wrong. Where is the sorrow? The ritual?
She sprayed enzyme on the concrete and scrubbed. Every motion efficient, unbothered.
Excuse me, human. Are you a priestess or a...
She never looked up. His recorder captured a face that would not flinch, would not weep. The first knot of empathetic resonance collapse tightened in his thorax.
Empathetic resonance already? No, I am trained. But she does not react.
Nancy lifted a small camera and photographed each stained patch with clinical detachment. Then she peeled off her soiled gloves, sealed them in a red biohazard bag, and pulled on fresh ones.
Human, I am observing for the Bureau. Can you hear me?
She pressed a knee into the concrete for leverage, Dreams still leaking from her earbuds. She didn't turn.
Thunder only happens when it's raining. A song about heartbreak. She hums it over dried blood.
He tightened the crystal's focus, hunting for a quiver of her lip, a hesitation. The frame held nothing.
Where does she put the horror? My own glands are betraying me.
His vision blurred. A tear tracked down his green cheek before he could stop it.
Subject exhibits zero external grief response. I am compromised. Full resonance collapse. I cannot maintain distance.
He stumbled up the stairs, gasping, one hand pressed to his thorax.
A human does not feel what I feel, or she is a mask of stone.
He returned. Nancy was still kneeling, humming Dreams as she scraped dried tissue from a baseboard. The second wave hit harder. He pressed a hand to his chest and wept openly. He fled up the stairs a second time, his crystal hanging limp from his wrist. When he came down, Nancy was on an overturned bucket, earbuds still in, unwrapping a turkey sandwich.
She eats a sandwich. There is blood under her fingernails, and she eats a sandwich.
She bit into the apple, juice running down her chin, and wiped it with the back of her glove without pausing. Dreams.
I do not understand these creatures.
She finished her apple, sealed the core in a bag, and went back to work. The afternoon wore on. She sprayed enzyme across the far wall, let it dwell, then wiped, every motion scripted.
The room no longer smells of death. It is just a basement.
Nancy pulled the earbuds free. Dreams stopped. She didn't look relieved or tired. She just turned.
It's clean. You can come down now. It's safe.
Elena Vasquez stepped forward, saw the bare concrete, and broke. Nancy drew her in without a word.
She holds the grieving woman like a mother, yet her own eyes are dry. I do not understand.
Nancy wheeled her equipment out, slid it into the van, and pulled off her biohazard suit. She drove away, the radio low. Krelpes stood in the empty basement, his crystal dark.
I came to document a ritual. I found nothing that fits. My report is useless. Play it again. The humming. That is where the answer hides.
He froze frames, zoomed into her face. No micro tremor, no swallow. The eyes held nothing but focus. He queried Earth's psychological databases. Search returns kept offering professional detachment, compartmentalization.
A switch they can throw? That is not biology. That is a lie the mind tells itself.
He replayed the sandwich footage for the 17th time, hunting for the moment she would crack.
She bit into the apple. I wept. She chewed. I could not breathe. Perhaps humans have a secondary emotional cortex. a partition where horror is stored but not felt.
He searched for humans immune to trauma. The results were nonsense. First responder forums, hospice blogs, no data.
Log entry. I will find the mechanism that allows humans to witness atrocity and eat a sandwich.
Data crystals piled around him. He had not slept. The footage looped, and still the answer eluded him.
Nancy cannot be the only one. There must be others who witness the dead and do not crumble.
He requested a live feed from a human hospice. A nurse sat beside a bed. "I am just going to hold your hand," she said. Her voice was warm, unshaken. A 911 dispatcher's voice. "Ma'am, I need you to apply pressure. Help is almost there." Calm. Precise. No panic. He cross-referenced the profiles. Paramedics, crisis counselors, funeral home directors. The emotional pattern was identical.
Log update. They witness pain but do not absorb it. I have been searching for grief where there is only function.
A hospice nurse laughed in a break room while death still lingered on her fingers. No defense, just completion.
They feel, but they release. The partition is not coldness. It is a valve.
A 911 operator told him, "You cry when you get home. You let it out where no one needs you." She smiled. The smile was honest.
I wept in the basement because I lacked the valve. The human adaptation is not a flaw. Mine is.
He saved the file as the human trauma witness adaptation mechanism. He had no cure for his own resonance collapse, but he had a name for theirs. He tried to enter a second cleanup site. The smell hit him before the stairs. His thorax locked. He staggered outside and vomited. Secondary trauma had become physical. He could not observe anymore, back in his ship. The shakes worsened. He loaded the follow-up file the Bureau had provided. Nancy, at home. The footage showed Nancy kneeling in bright afternoon sun, pruning roses. No biohazard suit, just dirt on her gloves. A girl in a floral dress chased a butterfly behind her. Charlotte. Nancy laughed, the sound warm and whole.
She holds so much darkness and then touches flowers. How does she not poison the soil?
She showed the girl how to cup a rose without crushing it. Their heads bent together, shadows merging.
Log. They compartmentalize the agony, but I cannot. I have no valve. The images will not drain.
He shut off the screen. The silence pressed in, heavier than the basement ever had. He let the crystal fall. His head dropped into his hands, and for a long moment there was only the hum of the ship. When he lifted his head, the screen had reverted to a database comparison. His own species stared back. Every Thelthar researcher exposed to prolonged death required purging rituals. Without them, the mind fractured.
No other known species does this without ceremony. Humans are an adaptive anomaly. Log entry. Define empathetic resonance collapse, the involuntary emotional absorption that prevents my kind from sustaining exposure. Humans bypass it.
He pulled up his own collapse data. Heart rate spikes, tear volume, time to recovery. It became evidence, not weakness. He sketched the mechanism, a cognitive valve. Humans can partition immediate response from long-term feeling.
Draft. The human trauma witness adaptation mechanism. I will prove they are not broken. They are built differently.
He saved the draft. For the first time in days, his thorax didn't ache. The puzzle had a shape.
The humming was not denial. It was a barrier. She sang to seal the valve.
He still needed the final piece. A human voice to confirm the gate wasn't automatic. It was chosen. He started typing. Data. Interviews. His own collapse charted against human calm. The pages grew.
The paper will lack a human narrative. But I cannot wait for permission. The evidence is here.
He wrote through the ship's night, 600 pages. The final diagram showed the rows beside the enzyme spray.
Final entry. It is done. Let them judge.
He pressed the send key with a trembling hand. The file shot into the Bureau's queue.
A radical claim about emotional architecture. They will reject it. My career is over.
A reply came within minutes. The Bureau was fast-tracking the paper. They attached a priority seal.
They see implications for galactic policy. They think this is real.
His screen flooded with priority markers. He scrolled back to the title, reading it again like a stranger.
Log. I only documented what I saw. Now the galaxy will decide what it means.
The paper leaked before the Bureau's release. Galactic feeds exploded overnight. A headline screamed, "Humans, the emotionless cleaners." Another, "Do they even feel grief?" Comments cascaded. Fear, disgust, accusations that humans were cold-blooded predators.
They twisted it. I never said they don't feel. I said they feel differently.
His own Bureau requested a public defense. If he failed, human-Xeno relations could freeze.
I need a human voice. The paper alone is a weapon now.
A message arrived from a human official. Your paper is causing panic. Contain it.
I must find the cleaner. Nancy. She is the only one who can speak for herself.
He set a course for Earth, his thorax tight with dread. He had no idea what she would say.
What if she confirms the worst? What if she truly does not feel?
Krell Pess landed and walked quickly to Nancy's address. A reporter was already at the garden gate, her datapad alight.
Miss, the galaxy is calling you emotionless. What's your response?
I just don't let the work follow me home.
That's it. The valve is conscious separation. She chooses it daily.
Jensen tried again, but Nancy only smiled, turned back to her roses, and resumed watering.
It's not a biological partition, it's a discipline. She gardens, she loves, she leaves it behind.
His crystal had caught everything. The human voice he needed was finally his.
This is my defense. Simple, human, undeniable. But will they listen?
He began drafting a supplement in his mind, but the fight to reframe the narrative was far from over.
She doesn't even know the galaxy is watching. And that's the point.
He loaded the recording crystal into his console and started the supplement. Nancy's words opened it.
I need her permission. Without it, I am just another alien exploiting her.
He sent a brief message to Nancy's contact node, explaining his paper and the galactic panic.
You can use whatever you need. Just don't make it weird.
The supplement, compartmentalization as a cultural norm, launched across all Bureau channels. New headlines appeared. Humans, the resilient caretakers. A still of Nancy hugging Elena Vasquez spread.
They see her now. The tears she holds, not the ones she lacks.
The Bureau issued a formal classification, trauma witness workers as a protected psychological category. Nancy's gardening clip went viral across the galaxy. A human pruning roses, aftermath unknown.
The narrative has turned, but the weight now falls on her. And she has no valve for fame.
Reporters crowded her gate, but Nancy locked it and knelt beside Charlotte, their backs to the noise. Krell Pess approached around noon, alone, his crystal dark. This was not an observation.
I came to thank you, not observe you. Your words saved my work, and perhaps my people's understanding.
You are that alien. I thought you were a squirrel. Don't mention it.
She told him about Linda, her replacement. Good hands, Nancy said, but I wonder if she'll find her song.
The transfer is the real test. If Linda can learn the valve, the adaptation is culture, not anomaly. Would you allow me to document the training? I need to see if the compartmentalization is passed on.
Fine by me. She's her own woman. Just don't get weepy on her.
Krell Pess bowed his head. The subject had become a person, and his study a quiet mission.
The quiet ones do not seek the dark. They plant over it. And tomorrow I will watch Linda do the same.
In a staged basement, Nancy showed Linda how to seal biohazard bags. Krell Pess filmed from the corner.
Double knot. Then mark the date. The enzyme needs 20 minutes.
Linda nodded, her own gloves steady, but her voice was tight. She knelt to try. At noon, they sat on crates, coffee steaming between them. Linda stared at her hands.
How do you stay so calm, Nancy? I keep thinking about what was on that floor.
You find your song, and you keep it between your ears. Then you go home and plant something.
A craft, not a science. The valve is a habit, passed on like tending roses.
Don't worry about the song. It'll find you when you need it.
If Linda succeeds alone, the adaptation is human, not miracle. I must see the proof.
Linda clipped an iPod to her waist, earbuds dangling. She was ready. At 71, Nancy hung up her biohazard suit for the last time. The Aftermath Clean Company break room held a single sheet cake.
We never thanked you properly, Nancy. You gave us our house back. This is from all of us, for all the basements.
Nancy unwrapped a tiny silver spray bottle keychain. She held it to the light, and her chin trembled.
A spray bottle. You remembered.
She cried, not for the dead, but for this room, these people, the clean spaces she had made possible.
Emotion, released, not absent. The valve opens when the work is done.
Nancy pulled Linda close and whispered something into her shoulder. Linda nodded, her eyes wet.
Find your song, Linda. And plant something.
Linda would take the next call alone. The work continued, as it always would. The call came at dawn. Linda drove to a split level where someone's son had died in the family room. At the top of the basement stairs, she stopped. The concrete below was dark with old blood. She suited up, clipped the iPod to her belt, and started Landslide. The chords filled her ears.
Log, the successor is nervous, but she plays the song. The song will carry her.
Linda knelt, sprayed enzyme, and began to scrub. Her hands soon moved with the rhythm.
It is not Nancy's gift. It is a human process.
At 1840, Linda straightened. The basement was clean.
It's clean. You can go back in when you are ready.
Log, the adapter has adapted. It is a human norm.
She drove home, the keychain from Nancy swinging on the rearview mirror. Landslide played again. Krell Pess published The Transferability of Trauma Witness Adaptation. The follow-up cemented his earlier claims. Within weeks, human cleaners in biohazard suits appeared on alien disaster sites. The images spread fast.
They offered me a consultancy. 6 figures. I told them my garden needs watering this year.
She chooses the soil over the stars. The valve is more precious than any payment.
An off-world contract. Send me the coordinates. I'll pack my iPod and my enzyme.
She accepted. The first Aftermath Clean Company cleaner to leave Earth's orbit.
Log, the mechanism is now a trade. Earth exports composure.
On a scarred colony, Linda stepped off a shuttle, the air thick with alien residue. She put in her earbuds, started Landslide, and began. The song sounded the same.
The quiet ones carry their garden with them. Wherever they go, they clean and they plant.
At 78, Nancy moved slower, but her hands still worked. She knitted on the porch, a cup of tea steaming beside her. Charlotte, now a young woman, stepped onto the porch with a holopad glowing in her hand.
Grandma, look! The cleaners you trained just saved a whole colony. It's everywhere.
Linda was always the better one. She found her song.
A tear traced her cheek, but it was full of pride, not sorrow. In orbit, an aged Krell Pess watched drone footage of the garden. He had not wept for years.
Log entry, final. She did not cry in the basement. She cried for this. That is the mechanism.
He zoomed out. The garden filled the frame, a patchwork of green and color.
The quiet ones do not forget. They simply do not carry what they cannot use. And that is the gift.
Nancy set down her knitting, took Charlotte's hand, and pointed to a rose bush. The blooms were just opening. On the anniversary of Krell Pess's final paper, the Galaxy unveiled a monument, a white biohazard suit draped over a stone. The inscription read, "To the quiet ones who clean our sorrow." Nancy's name was carved below, among many. Krell Pess's original paper rested in a crystal library. a foundational text in xenopsychology. Linda, gray threading her hair, guided a new class through the enzyme protocol. Her voice had the same calm edge.
A trainee asked the inevitable question. How do you stay so calm? Find your song, keep it between your ears, and when you go home, plant something.
A young cleaner in the back row smiled, then popped in her earbuds. The first notes of Dreams leaked out. The song had passed from Nancy to Linda to a new generation. It would not end. The Aftermath Clean Company van rolled through a quiet Akron neighborhood, a new call on the screen. Inside, a cleaner named Rachel clipped her iPod. The work continued, quiet as ever. At 88, Nancy passed in her sleep. A yellow rose from Charlotte's garden rested in her hand. Her funeral was small. Family, a few old clients, and Linda in her one dark suit.
She always said a clean floor was a kindness. Now we clean ours.
I found my song because of her, and I'll keep singing it.
A recording crystal drifted down through the air, glowing faintly. It had come from Krell Pess. His voice, aged but clear. Nancy of Earth, you taught us to see strength where we saw emptiness. Linda stepped forward and laid the tiny spray bottle keychain on the casket beside the rose. The sun set over the garden. The bare branches caught the light, holding it like a promise.
She never let the work follow her home, because home was where she planted.
And in the morning, the roses would bloom. In a basement, not unlike the first, Linda knelt, gray streaking her hair, humming Dreams against the concrete. She ate her lunch on an overturned bucket, turkey sandwich, apple. The keychain swayed from her belt. Across the galaxy, a young Thelthar researcher watched Linda's feed, her notes filling a screen. An elder scientist leaned over. Why isn't she crying? The young researcher smiled, a data crystal glowing in her palm. Read Krell Pess's third paper. It's all there. On Earth, Linda finished her sandwich, crumpled the wrapper, and stood to resume. She put her earbuds back in, found the song, and the spray bottle hissed. The alien feed showed her face, calm as the first day. The work was unchanged. The camera pulled back through the basement window into the Akron morning. The van waited outside. In the garden, Charlotte moved among the roses, snipping spent blooms. The petals opened pale in the spring light. The Aftermath Clean Company van rolled past the garden gate, quiet as a promise. The slogan gleamed on its side. Inside, the silver spray bottle keychain swayed from the rear-view mirror. The small charm caught the sun. In a xenocultural museum, Krell Pess's recording crystal floated in a beam of light. A holographic plaque glowed beneath. The plaque read, "She did not cry, she cleaned." And so, we learned. A phone screen lit up with a new job notification. A gloved hand reached for the device. An iPod was clipped to a belt. The address was a new house, a new basement, a new sorrow. And a cleaner was already on the way. The first notes of Dreams leaked from earbuds as the engine turned over. The song began again. The van pulled away. The keychain swung. The morning stretched on, clean and unbroken. And in the garden, the roses continued to bloom, as they always would, as the work always would, fade to black.